this YouTube video is sponsored by Google. Just kidding, it's not. I'm aware that my room is a mess. My room's always a mess. I'm currently trying to pack for college. Also, I have my light on it, so it's going to change colors. I'm currently trying to pack all my shit up. Not pack all my shit up, I'm trying to clean all my shit out so that it's easier for me to pack up my shit later. Currently, right now, I'm working like 25 hours a week, which I know it's like, nah, it's not a big deal. But for me it is, because I'm also juggling all of my college classes, and I am also currently working on my scholarship, multiple scholarship essays. Think what's gonna happen. I'm cracking my knuckles, sorry. Right now, I'm making sure that my shirt's on the right way. Because that's how I feel. Also, I am not dirty. I showered last night after work, I promise. I'm just consistently tired, so I look like a mess. I didn't make my bed. My cat's sleeping back there. I didn't want to disturb him. He's always sleeping back there. I'm so jealous of the little bastard. So expect only like, I think instead of doing a video every week, I'm gonna do like 2 videos a month. That's my goal. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but it's what I want to happen. So for a little update, we are going to do my favorite kind of video. It is currently December 26th. And I will update if I watch anything else. I'm not sure if I'm going to, though. I didn't watch that many movies this month. It's kind of pathetic compared to like my other months. So the first movie that I watched was The Velcro Experiment from 2016. This movie has John Gallagher Jr. in it, who is the amazing actor from Spring Awakening. He plays Moritz. He's also in the American Idiot musical, and he is in Hush. He's the scary guy in Hush. John Gallagher Jr. is a genius, in my opinion. I love that man. That's why I watched this movie. I thought it was really good. I gave it 3.5 stars. Basically, it's about all these people they're trapped inside of a building, and they find out that the corporation that they have been working for is actually a science experiment, and they all have to kill each other, or bombs in their neck, like little tracker things, will explode and kill them. And the person who kills the most people gets to live. I thought it was an interesting concept. I liked it. Next, we have The Cleansing Hour from 2019. This one had my favorite boy, Kyle Gallner, in it, so I liked it. Was it good? I don't know. Yeah, Kyle Gallner was in it, and it's basically, it was a Shudder exclusive, but I streamed it off somewhere other website. I don't remember which one. But it was about these people who made a kind of like a Twitch stream, like a live stream show where they were exorcising demons, but it was all fake. But then the demons got pissed that they were faking it, so they came for real. I thought, okay, so in terms of, I'm not a big fan. I will always prefer slashers over like possession movies and stuff like that. But in terms of possession movies, I actually found it to be incredibly entertaining. It was fun. Next, we have Gothika from 2003. I was really looking forward to this because this was one of my moms. I have one mother. One of my mom's favorite movies. Yeah, I said it right. We actually own this movie, but it has Halle Berry in it, and it has Robert Downey Jr. in it. And it was an incredibly cheesy early 2000s movie. I think it actually ended on a Limp Bizkit song. If I remember correctly, it did end on a Limp Bizkit song. Wasn't very good. Yeah, it wasn't entertaining or fun either. It was just like a depressing, bad movie. You know what I mean? But like the special effects, it was one of those so bad it was kind of good. I just like movies. That's what it's coming down to. I enjoy movies. I like watching them. So when people ask me to talk about whether or not something's good, I mean, it was entertaining. It was so bad it was good, you know what I mean? Like, the special effects were so cheesy, I found myself being amazed at how bad it was. And that was my opinions on Gothika. Next, we have My Little Eye, which I gave 4 stars, because I actually really fucking liked this movie. It had Chris Lemche in it. Lemche. I think I said that right. Who is the guy from Final Destination 3. He plays Ian McKinley, and he is also the guy from Ginger Snaps. He plays Sam. Really like him. I like how short he is. He does wonders for my gender dysphoria. My Little Eye was from 2002, so I'm going to talk about found footage for a second. I think that found footage is such an interesting form of making horror movies, and I think I like it so much because it's so cheap to do. I think It's one of those things where I watch found footage movies and I'm like, you know what, I could fucking do that. That's something that I could do. And then, like, I'm inspired. You know, so this movie was from 2002. It is basically a horror retelling, but not really. It's like a horror spoof of the Big Brother, like, shows where people, you know, live in a house with each other for, like, I think it's 6 months and they get $1 million, but they're not allowed to leave. So they start getting terrorized, but they're not allowed to leave or else they lose the money. Even if one person leaves, everyone loses the money. So they're slowly dying, but like nobody wants to leave because they don't want to miss out on the money. And it was very torture porny, admittedly. It was shock horror, but I thought it was interesting. It was kind of like what Blair Witch did for like possession movies. I think that My Little Eye did that for torture found footage. Does that make any sense? Which I like torture found footage. So I thought it was neat. I thought it was cool. Next, I watched Fantastic Planet on HBO. That's all you need to know. That face was all you needed to know. I thought the soundtrack was dope as shit. The soundtrack was so good. The art style was so good. The art was amazing. I'll play it. It was beautiful. This story, I was just kind of like, okay, yeah. This is, I understand. Basically, it was about all these aliens owning humans as pets, but then the humans decide to revolt. But I think it's from 1973. Actually, yeah, I will give it points for that. It was from 1973, so never mind. I was going to say it's a story that we've seen over and over again. So for me, the story was incredibly predictable. But the art and the music was amazing. But it was from 1973, so I don't think that at its time it was predictable. Does this make any sense? Do I make any sense? No. Next I watched They're Watching from 2016. This is a horror movie directed by the same people who made, I think, the SpongeBob movie. And I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. It was more of a horror comedy than like an actual horror movie. It's about a reality TV show. These people who own a reality TV show, and it's in Mongolia, I think, and they fix up houses. Like, they film people buy houses, and then they fix them up, and then they come back and they film what's happened. And it was basically about there's town curse with witches, and the camera crew gets involved with that. I don't want to spoil it. This movie has an incredibly crazy last, like, 20 minutes. It's insane. It's free on Amazon Prime. Honestly, if you're bored, watch it. Watch They're Watching. It's hilarious and it's wild. It was a good time. The next movie that I watched was The Den from 2013, which was basically, I saw Host when it first came out. I don't know if anybody else watched it. It was, how do I even explain why I watched this movie? So I found myself in a bit of I got really excited, and I decided that making my own horror movie via webcam would be a great idea. My webcam does have a Band-Aid on it, because I'm nuts. But yeah, I thought it would be the best idea ever, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna make a webcam movie. I'm gonna make an Unfriended style, Host style webcam movie. So I wanted to watch more of them. And I found The Den from 2013, which was basically about, this girl was doing a study about Omegle, but it wasn't Omegle, it was called The Den. And she ended up contacting a serial killer via The Den, and it was about that. She was getting harassed, and it was bad. And so I need to, yeah. I don't want to spoil. Next, I watched Idle Hands. I had never seen Idle Hands before, which is such a shock because I love Seth Green and I love Final Destination. So I was very excited about this movie, and I finally watched it. I thought it was amazing. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars because I'm nuts. And go watch Idle Hands, please. Please watch Idle Hands. It was great. Fantastic. Wonderful. Amazing. Go watch Idle Hands. It's a horror comedy, by the way. It's about this kid whose hand gets possessed and it wants to kill things, and it does, and he has to stop his hand from killing things. It's very, It reminded me heavily of the scene from Evil Dead 2. Next we have Tales from the Dark Side, the movie from 1990. I've never actually seen Tales from the Dark Side, the show, so I didn't really know why it was called the movie until I looked it up, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I've missed out on something. But my dad really likes this movie, and I saw that Christian Slater was in it, so I decided to watch it. It was, basically there was a frame story, and then there were 3 stories going on inside of the frame story. Think Creepshow, which I loved the Creepshow movies as a kid. Creepshow 2 is my favorite specifically. Huge Stephen King fan growing up. Yeah, I really like Tales from the Dark Side. I thought it was fun. I like the stories inside of stories. Horror movie format. I think it's interesting. I like every horror movie format though. That's what I'm slowly realizing. Next, I watched the Collection movies, and I thought that they were amazing. I thought that they were amazing. They were so good, and I loved them. It's basically, it was really dope. I love Final Boys, or Final Guys, or whatever the fuck I'm supposed to say. I love it when horror movies have a, like, and that's because I'm selfish and vain. I think it's neat when instead of the final girl, there's a final guy. Yeah, next I watched Don't Breathe from 2016, and I thought it was amazing. Jane Levy, I think that's how you say it, she is an amazing actress. She played the original Mandy Milkovich, and she also played Mia in the Evil Dead remake. I think she's so good. I think any movie that she's in automatically gets like 10 times better just because of her. But Don't Breathe was so much fun. Basically these teenagers, they need money, and there's like a legitimate reason there. So they decide, they steal things, and they find out that this war vet guy, so they decide, they're like, oh, well, this will be easy, we won't have to kill anyone because he's blind, we'll just go in and get out. So they go in, and he ends up being like crazy. Not crazy, well, yeah, crazy, but he still remembers how to do all the war shit, and he fucking messes them up. Next we have Dinner in America from 2020. I said that weird, sorry. Dinner in America has Kyle Gallner in it, and I fucking loved it. It was basically, I didn't realize it was like a rom-com kind of until I got like halfway through. It's basically about this punk guy named Simon who is running from the police, and he ends up staying with this girl, and he realizes that she's actually a huge fan of his music, but when he does music, he wears a mask, so like you can't see him, so she doesn't know who he is, but he knows who she is, and it's a good time. It was a punk rock rom-com, and I thought it was kind of cute. I liked it. Next, I watched Be My Cat, a film for Anne, just to completely change the mood. Be My Cat, a film for Anne is a found footage movie from 2015, sorry. And it's fake, you know what I mean, but the director is a guy with a camera who wants Anne Hathaway to fall in love with him. Do you see my cat? And he wants Anne Hathaway to be in a movie with him, because of Catwoman. So he decides to get other actresses to play the part that he wants Anne Hathaway to play, and then he wants to send his movie to Anne Hathaway. But he ends up taking it really far, and it's very Megan is Missing, but like down a couple notches, a shit ton of notches. Let's be real here. But yeah, I really liked it. It was free on Tubi, and I thought it was very interesting take on the found footage genre. And that is all I've watched so far this month. All my links are in the description of this video, and I hope you have a good day, and goodbye.